OK, well, Stephen Kelly was watching this one for us here in the studio. As comfortable as the scoreline suggests? Nervy, or what did you make of it overall?
It was actually. I was kind of... The anticipation going into this game, the record that they have at home, you're fearful, the pitch, all these things culminating in Tottenham. You know, I know they had a 3-1 lead, but you're fearful that if they get an early goal, could this be, you know, a really tight, contested match, especially the fact that they've beaten Lazio and Celtic and, you know, Panathinaikos all on their home turf over the last few years. So you know it's going to be tough, but Tottenham made it look easy. They didn't really struggle defensively, so solid. Bentancur and Bissouma middle of the park, and Bissouma I think has struggled for a lot of parts of the season, and he was excellent. Bentancur struggled through injury, but back to what his best was. Two fullbacks staying intact, Romero and Van de Ven, excellent at the back together, and it was just a really assured, comfortable performance, and I think they made it look easier than what it could have been. So yeah, really happy with the way I went in the final.
Dominic Solanke seems to be just picking up a bit of momentum now. You know, more comfortable in the Spurs shirt, perhaps. You know, that very high price tag, you know, seems to have sort of been earned back with some crucial goals, and you needed that goal to settle the nerves.
Yeah, I think for Solanke as well, for every forward, goals is what's important for their confidence, for the team. They're judged on that. But his work rate he does off the ball, for what he does for the team, is being brilliant. The way he presses, you know, today they played a little bit longer, weren't so passing through the lines, ball going up to him, and just forced errors on their side. And I think, you know, through the whole game, I think he was excellent. I think the last few games, he runs himself ragged every match, and, you know, his reward is the goals. He's got a couple of penalties in the build-up to this match, and then the goal from open play today was pounce in the box, really good, reactive finish from him. So, yeah, he's been a really important player, and the fact that he was fit, you know, you wrap him up in cotton wool going to that final. I don't think Tottenham can take any risks with those starters between now and the season. The Premier League is done. They're going to finish 17th, 15th, 14th. It's not going to have a huge impact on their season. This is their season, and those players all have to come through it.
I'll come back to that point in a second. Christian Romero, in terms of his contribution for that goal, I mean, seemed to be in the air an awful long time. That, for me, was critical, wasn't it? You know, he's captain, leads by example, needs to have an impact. Yeah,
huge moment from him. And I think his discipline in the game was excellent. In the last match, he showed a glimpse of what he can go over that line. But he always finds that fine margins, and today his performance was excellent. A lot of rumours, a lot of circulation about where he's going to be next season. But he looked like the man committed to Tottenham, at least for this cause, and has a wonderful header to put Romero in, gets up really early far post, knocks it back down to a dangerous area, and it's a great finish from Solanke. But yeah, him and Van de Ven, it is a wonderful partnership. It's just we haven't seen it often enough this season because they've both been injured.
Yeah. We'll come back to you, Stephen, in a moment, but let's just tell you about how Tottenham have fared in previous European finals. Won the Commonwealth Cup against Atletico 1963, long time ago, and then UEFA Cup twice against Wolves, 1972, against Anderlecht, 1984, but also lost two finals, UEFA Cup against Feyenoord in 1974, and of course the big one only 6 seasons ago, the Champions League final in Madrid against Liverpool. And of course we now have a situation where they will now face another English team, and once again it will be in Spain. The reason is that Manchester United await Spurs in the final. They came from behind to beat Athletic Club 4-1 on the night at Old Trafford, 7-1 on aggregate. United given a bit of a scare in the first half when Ernesto Valverde's side took the lead. A loose pass from Harry Maguire led to a curling effort from Mikel Jauregui, which beat Andre Onana. After half-time, Mason Mount came off the bench and equalised for United. Very lovely, deft, Cruyff-turned curling finish into the bottom right-hand corner. Mount's first goal at Old Trafford. 8 minutes later, United went ahead on the night. Bruno Fernandes' free kick headed in by Casemiro to make it 2-1. And just before full-time, Amad Diallo set up Rasmus Højlund to make it 3-1. Before then, well, Mount got in on the act again, producing a stunning long-range finish into an empty net as it finished 4-1. So United into the final in Bilbao. It is their third final in 3 years. Ruben Amorim, who has seen his team dropped to 15th in the Premier League, has the chance to win a major European trophy just 6 months since taking over from Erik ten Hag. Mick Phelan was watching this one with us. And again, I mean, you know, the scoreline 7-1 suggests this was easy over the two legs for United. Perhaps not the full picture.
Well, the scoreline was convincing.
Yeah.
You know, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, they did the damage away from home in a two-legged competition. 3-0 should be comfortable. But in that first 60, 70 minutes, it was all really,
athletic.
it was all athletic. And it's a credit to them. They actually came with a good game plan. They were fearless. They got at United. And they made United, work for it. There was a bit of chaos in that defence at times. But United was so wasteful at times as well, going forward. Had a couple of opportunities. I think up to the substitutions, one attempt on goal. And then the substitution changed it. Ahmad and obviously Mount changed the course of the game. It just got United a little bit further up the field. Obviously, the opposition have to gamble a little bit if they want to really take something from the game. But all credit to United. They stuck to the task and they're in the final. And that was everything they've been asked to do, is get to this final. And not only that, they've got to go and win it. It's just in their court now. And the opposition's going to be Tottenham, who have played well against United in the past.
Just quickly on a couple of players, particularly Mason Mount, how personally delighted are you for him? Because he's had such a tough time at Old Trafford. And 2 goals that show the class of the player, back from when he was, one of the first names on the team sheet for Gareth Southgate there with England and, Chelsea doing some great things.
The game's about players, and it's about big players turning up at the right time to do what they do best. And obviously he's been patient, he's been unlucky. It hasn't been the greatest season for him, going to a new club and trying to settle in there, injuries. But to find his form right now and to contribute to 2 goals in a semi-final is exceptional. That just shows you, he's got a strong mindset and a good will behind him to want to do it, to want to perform. So, I think he takes a lot of credit out of that. The interesting bit now is where it leaves his manager as far as, does he get in the team? I would think that Mount possibly now will see the season out, hopefully be in the team for the final. That'll be what he'll be. That's the question he's asking. And also Ahmad. I think Ahmad has justification as well, because he is a bright spark when he comes onto the field. Yeah. I must say, the crowd were always with United. Even though they may have been a bit edgy at times, they were always there with them.
But I think when you're 3-0 up, that's what you would expect.
Yeah, but it's a night at Old Trafford again where the supporters are different, a different class in a European game. And they'll travel well, they'll look forward to the final. It's something like, a bit of silver lining over the season. And they'll look forward to the final. It will be a challenge, but they'll look forward to it.
Stephen was mentioned before, for Tottenham, you sort of wrap those first-team starters up in cotton wool. What do you think Ruben Amorim's going to do in the games that remain in the Premier League campaign and thinking about the Europa League final? Will he just simply be resting them or giving them some minutes, really trying to manage that, keep momentum but not expend too much energy?
Well, I think the ones that came on as subs, he will look to start them now and give them 90 minutes. I think that might be something you have to think about. He'll want everybody available with minutes under the belt in order to be ready for that final now. So, yeah, I think he'll chop and change the team. Players will be fingers crossed that they get through it and get to that final. But all attention will be now on the final. Everything else doesn't matter. It's just the final. And I think, again, for both managers are in the same position, having had definitely a poor season, both clubs. Yeah. They've got this little cherry, this little reward to look forward to, and it's going to be winner takes all.
Yeah. It's the season saver in the Basque Country, isn't it? Got a little idea for you guys, if you're up for it. Seeing as it is Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur in this Europa League final in Bilbao later this month, I would like you, if you would be so kind, in 30 seconds each to tell me why your club will win that Europa League final. Yes, I knew I'd get a wry smile or a laugh out of that. But so, OK, tell you what, Mike, we're going to start off with you. I'll set my timer going and you can tell me why you think Manchester United have got a compelling case to win it. Go.
I think United have worked so hard in this competition to get to this final, and the one eye on the game is going to be about Champions League football. I think they have that quality to get there. It has definitely been the competition for them this year. And I think they've got goal scorers in the team. They've got creativity, they've got goal scorers. And that's why I think they could go all the way and win this tournament.
With 6